Hi everybody, this is Lance Scates from Restore VR Therapy, and guess what? We just finished recording a video for you. Yes, just for you. And actually, I'm editing this right now. In this video, I'm gonna talk about my story, my research, and things that help me reduce my stress during a very high stress, anxiety, crazy time in my life. Okay? So pay attention to this video, watch until the end, and I hope you're gonna like it and transform your life. Bye bye.
Are you ready to improve your mental and emotional health against stress and anxiety? Are you ready to invest your spirit, soul, and body for a better quality of life? Would you be open to experiment virtual reality to improve your well-being? If you have answered yes to one of these questions, you're in the right place. Welcome, I'm Lance Scates. I have been working with information technology for more than 20 years, and now more recently with the healthcare industry. Also, I'm a co-founder of Restore VR Therapy.
And I'm Lance Scates, researcher, author, designer, and co-founder of Restore VR Therapy.
We are here to help you to reduce your stress and anxiety. So what is stress exactly? Stress is the body's reaction to any change that requires an adjustment or response. Stress can be positive, such as when it helps you to avoid a danger or meet a deadline. But it can be negative if it continues for a long period of time. We call it chronic stress. This is the one that we will be addressing here. There are some methods that we developed that will help you reduce your stress significantly. But first, we want to share our story. Let's start with you, Diane.
That's right. Let's start with me. Let's talk about my life experience dealing with stress. At this point in my life, the most stressful season of my life was a few years ago when my work schedule was very demanding. Therefore, my level of stress was extremely high. I discovered a lump on my neck, and after that, I was diagnosed with cancer. My husband and I were shocked. Isn't that true?
That's true.
This health issue thought never crossed my mind due to my health lifestyle and with no history of cancer in my family.
So this was a total surprise, unexpected event in life, potential to raise up stress and anxiety.
Yes, that's correct. Since I have a health lifestyle, and you know that, as a family, we never had a diagnosis of cancer. Therefore, everything was new to us, including the fact of receiving such diagnosis. You can imagine the impact that this caused, and in many ways, how stressful it was for all of us.
It's true.
I had to battle fear, stress, anxiety, and uncertainty. All the plans that I had for myself, my family, my career were on hold at that point. However, there were some decisions that we made that helped me to cope with this situation. And I would like to share all of them with you. On the movie Forrest Gump, the protagonist, Forrest Gump, said, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get." And many times this is true. Sometimes we face events in life that require us to activate areas in our life that are numb or asleep. Let me give you an example. Since I love sports, it's just like when you are going to work out on your daily routine, like walking, running, you name it. And suddenly, for some reason, something happened and forces you to change the routine. You start to feel some muscles of your body that maybe you never thought of exercising them. So you need to change your workout routine and work with other muscles of your body to achieve results. It's painful, but necessary. On the same token, if during our journey of life we suddenly face an unexpected situation like we did, how are we going to react? That's the question. In my case, I had to put into action and strength areas of my life that were dormant. They were not active to its full potential. For instance, some of my emotions, my mind, my thoughts, my body, and my spirit were not prepared to face a diagnosis of cancer. And of course, I, as everybody else who were close to me, had to learn a lot during this process. One of the areas I had to exercise was my spirituality. My ability to trust in God increased. I remember like yesterday when I left the clinic, not knowing about my future. I made a prayer. And in my prayer, I gave thanks to God for His sovereignty over every situation and for every person who would be involved in helping me through the process. I put in practice something very important called gratitude. I trusted God. He was in control of everything. I decided to surrender the situation, my life, and my thoughts to Him. Also, I asked God to increase my hope and my faith, to always believe in Him. I felt peace, filling my heart and my mind that I could not understand. At that time, I did not know the final diagnosis.
Diana, let me interrupt you here just a second and just point out two things, two elements that Diana put in practice dealing with her spirituality, choices she made to strengthen her spirit. First, she trusted, believing in God in this situation. Second, she practiced gratitude. As a result, she received the peace from God.
That's correct. I think you summarized very well this part, and that's good. So this is a long story, but fast forward a bit. I received the news that was cancer. And some weeks later, I started chemotherapy and radiation protocol combined with a lot of research and alternative medicine supplements. Every person who has gone through such protocol knows very well how aggressive these treatments are. Not only that, but the side effects of these treatments, including pain, stress, anxiety, sleep deprivation, just to name a few, are very challenging to manage.
Yes, I remember very well, Diana. As a caregiver, my stress levels also increased because of what? Because of the unknown, the struggle to make the right decisions, to find the right hospital, to find the right doctor, to find the right treatment. It was very challenging indeed.
Well, let's go further a little bit and let me talk about my research. Recently, I finished my master's degree in design thinking, and when I was searching for the theme of my thesis, I decided to combine three important areas of my life. The first one was my life experience as a former cancer patient. I know very well how stressful that is. The second was my career as a designer. And the third was my passion for technology. All these areas have helped me to study in depth about how to prosper my spirit, soul, and body, in combination with virtual reality and its therapeutic effect on people.
Interesting.
Since that time, I have been speaking on conferences in the US and abroad just about this subject. I conducted researches in clinics, and recently my paper on this type of therapy was accepted on the Environmental and Behavior Journal by SAGEPub.
Good, Diane. So could you elaborate more about your experience speaking on conferences here and abroad?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Here in the US, I have been speaking at universities and conferences focused on healthcare, technology, and human behavior. It has been a rewarding experience. So far, the audience has been composed of multidisciplinary professionals like technologists, researchers, doctors, architects, RNs, you name it. They have been very engaged, raising a good amount of questions as well as comments. I was very happy with the results. Also, I was invited to speak at a well-known university in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The tour throughout Brazil encompassed 3 main states, and besides the university in Rio, I spoke at hospitals, churches, cancer centers, and I had the opportunity to collect data from patients there as well. The trip was wonderful. I learned so much during this tour. It was clear to me that the restorative art therapy could be used with different populations' demographic as I had anticipated initially. I had the opportunity to collect data from dialysis patients, adolescents, parents, and former cancer patients who were under high level of stress. It was a beautiful experience since I'm very passionate about the transformation that it brings on an individual.
Beautiful. What was the main topic that you presented in these conferences or in your tour?
Okay, that's a good question. Mainly, I spoke on the topic of my research, which involves the usage of virtual reality, nature scenes, and sounds on individuals with high level of stress and pain. I was able to share scientific data that I have collected from different sources.
All right. You mentioned that your paper was accepted on the Environment and Behavior Journal by SAGE. What is SAGE for those who do not know?
Okay, good question. SAGE is a reputable peer-reviewed journal. Peer review is an academic term for quality control. Each article published in a peer-reviewed journal is closely examined by a panel or reviewers who are experts on the article's topic. The articles published at the SAGE publications can be cited as a credible scientific paper. So, it was a big accomplishment for me to have my paper published by SAGEPub. I never dreamed of it before, and I felt blessed. The title of the paper that my professors from Redfield University and I wrote is called Using Nature-Inspired Virtual Reality as a Distraction to Reduce Stress and Pain Among Cancer Patients.
Good. Going back to your research, what were the results?
Good question. Well, let me share with you some short testimonies that I collected. In order to maintain the privacy of the individuals, I will call them by a fictitious name. Okay, let me see here. I collected some testimonies and I want to share with you. So, for instance, Miss Tanya, she said, after experiencing the Restore VR, she said, very calming effects, lovely images, distract me and took me away from thinking about where I was, a cancer facility with sick people. This is what she said. That's wonderful. One more testimony. Mr. Aaron, he said, and I quote, listening to the water made me very relaxed and not so focused on the procedure. One more?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mr. Dorothy, she said, and I quote, "It took my mind off the procedure and made me much more relaxed." Do we have a room for one more?
Please, yes.
Okay, one more. I love this one. I love all, but this one, it's interesting. Mr. Don, he said, "It made me feel as though I was actually visiting the park." The VR experience transported the patient to a place where he felt happy and safe. In this case, it was the park. During an informal interview with Mr. Don, he told me that he used to work for a Florida state park. And he loves to be in this kind of environment.
Interesting. Diana, based on these testimonies, we heard words like relaxed, we heard words like distraction. They were immersed using the virtual reality, so they were transported to another environment, and that reduced their stress according to their testimonies, right?
Yes, exactly. As you can see, after collecting positive results from many patients who experienced virtual reality to reduce stress, I saw the importance of expanding this non-drug therapy. Therefore, we create a method that includes two approaches to reduce stress and anxiety. The first approach is the human factor, spirit, soul, and body. Our understanding of soul or human soul includes emotions, mind, and will of a person. The second approach, the virtual reality experience using nature-inspired scenes and sound.
Okay, so this is not only using virtual reality or just dealing with the spirit, soul, and body in order to reduce stress and anxiety. This is a non-drug therapy with a combination of both. One is not complete without the other.
That's right.
So going back to our original questions, Diana,
Right.
we can improve mental and emotional health when we are intentional and ready for new changes, starting with our thinking and even in the beliefs that we have. The opportunity of being free of stress and anxiety is available, and we will get into much more details in the following videos. So why not give it a try to this innovative therapy? Why not experience virtual reality, allowing yourself to be distracted in order to improve your well-being? In the next video, we will discover more about human nature combined with the cutting-edge technology of virtual reality in order to fight against stress and anxiety. Please subscribe to this channel and share this video with people you know who would benefit of this information. See you soon.
See you in the next video.